Here you go.
A little big. I'm gonna move that for before I get started, this is really the first time we've been back out on this field and losing a great member of the media fraternity, and Gary Paskowitz, a great Trojan and a great professional. And just wanted to, just for a second, add a memory to him, say thank you for all he's done for our Trojan family and the professionalism that he's brought to the table since I've been here. You know, it's been great to be back on this field with this 2019 football team. I can't tell you how proud I am of them for the amount of work that they put in the winter workout sessions and the winter workout program to be able to get out here. You know, it's been a really tremendous off season. I visited with them yesterday to get started with this spring ball. And one of the things that I told them that leaders have to do is to be able to own mistakes from a previous season. And you know, for me, the ownership has to be able to identify the mistakes that happened, to be able to make it a priority out here at practice, to be able to have a plan, to be able to correct those things, and then execute that plan. This will be the last time in this meeting that I'll talk about the 2018 season. This is a 2019 football team, and they're moving forward. For me, the priorities is hopefully what you saw today. The first thing is we started a while back when we basically hired a new offensive coordinator, as well as asked Coach Clancy to simplify our system to allow our defensive kids to play faster, make sure that our personnel is in the right place to provide bigger fronts. We basically created simple, effective schemes to allow our kids to play faster. I want us to continue. I want us to focus more on the fundamentals and techniques of the game, because I think we're as talented as anybody that will play next year, at least equivalent, if not better. And as you saw today, a lot more emphasis was put on our individual drills, almost 45 minutes just of individual drill work before we got into any teamwork, working the fundamentals and technique. The next thing that I addressed with our football team is bringing the discipline of the game. Especially when it comes to penalties. The fact of the matter is we lost 4 games down the stretch by 7 points or less, and a lot of that had to do with the discipline of the game and penalties. As you saw today, any type of penalty was addressed immediately. There'll be referees out here all 15 practices, and as soon as a yellow flag is on board, that player is out, and he will be suffered the repercussion of what it means to make a mistake football team wise, whether it's pre-snap or post-snap or in between. Any fundamental mistake that we make, we'll coach off tape. Any pre-snap or post-snap penalty we'll take care of right then and there. The next thing for me is the turnover margin. We talked about it was all about the ball, but we didn't live it. And for us, it's got to be about taking the ball away and securing the ball. I think about the games versus Cal and versus Notre Dame and how those turnovers really led to opportunities to win both football games. So that will be key. And then lastly is what you saw here today. It'll be about competition. This field has always been about competition. I don't want any player on this football team to feel comfortable with his position. He's always fighting for a job. He's always competing for a job. So every Friday, I'll release a 2 deep each week. And every Friday, whoever is playing best in that moment will step out there first on Saturdays. Really excited to be out here, guys. And we've learned from our past, and now it's time to focus on our future. I really like where this mindset of this team is right now. This 2019 football team is, they've got a chip on their shoulder. They're extremely hungry, and I see a sense of urgency about them to be great, all right? And our coaches, especially our new ones being here, I feel a freshness, a new energy, both with our new coaches, our new support, our new recruiting, the members that have come on board. I love what they're bringing to the table right now. They're very excited to bring Aaron Osmus back to USC. Aaron has won a national championship here with Coach Carroll in 2003. I've watched him lead 2 SEC programs. I watched him take a 2010 team when he came back to SC, and in a year create basically one of the better teams in college football with the 2011 football team. It's great to have him back. The staff that he's putting together, I know will produce a great football team in 2019. I really feel the future is bright for this football team. And I can't tell you how excited I am about the next 5 weeks to be able to improve each and every day. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Coach, what are you most excited about that'll be maybe the the biggest challenge in your new role as letting coaches do the coaching, you, as you said, in charge of fundamentals, discipline, and other factors?
Yeah, I addressed it with the whole team, and that's where my discipline has to come in. My focus has to be in those areas I've talked about. I told our coaches I will not worry about scheme in this training camp. I'm going to be about the fundamentals and technique, the discipline of the game, the turnover margin, and making sure our guys are competing at the highest level. That will be my role. Okay, I've hired some great coaches and some great coordinators to be able to teach schemes and be able to do their job, control their rooms. And for me, that'll be my discipline in this training camp.
How did that go today?
It was practice one. It was practice one for me. As you saw, my focus and it was being able to, every time there was a yellow flag out there, to immediately address the situation. Be bouncing in and out of each individual drill, making sure that anything that I saw I could coach on and be able to address. We had one ball on the ground today by Vi, and we immediately addressed that. And then just being able to let them know that we are setting a standard. And that standard is the only thing we will accept. Anything less, I'll address with you immediately.
Clay, after last season and after this offseason, do you feel you have anything to prove?
I really think that every coach that's in this position, when you're talking about a USC or this quality of school or an NFL team, you have something to prove each and every year. You have something to prove each and every day, each and every game. I've always felt that I'm always trying to fight for 24 more hours. I've done that for 25 years, and it's worked out pretty well. Not only do you ask your players to compete, but you compete as a coach to be the best possible version of yourself that you can be. And that's my promise to my players, is that every day they're going to get my best effort to help improve them.
What did you see from Graham Carroll that led you to bringing him on board?
Yeah, I was very fortunate because I had a great run game coordinator in Tim Drevno, and I really wanted an elite passing game mind, and so excited to have Graham here. I love his energy. I love his mindset when it comes to the passing game. But even as a play caller, you even saw him today. Half that practice was unscripted. He's on a headset. He's up on the top of the stands calling it, training himself, and I've been so impressed as a guy that is going to be our coordinator, going to be our play caller, how he is just taking over the offense immediately, and you see the energy of the kids surrounding him right now. So excited about it. I think he has elite run game mind, produced one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country, and still ran the ball for 2,000 yards. I think that's what makes him different.
Coach, do you have a timetable for picking a quarterback?
I want to be able to come out for this training camp, and I told each kid that I want to get enough reps at all positions to be able to sit down with them after spring ball and be able to say, if we had to play a game today, this is where we would be at. Does that mean it could change? Yeah, it could change. Remember what I said, the depth chart will be released on a Friday, at all positions. So for me, I am going to provide clarity to those quarterbacks of where they stand at the end of spring ball. I think that's fair to them, but I don't want anybody comfortable. That at the end of the day, there's a long time between the time that we get done with spring ball and the time you start. And I thought I really applaud Graham and the offensive staff. I asked them to mix it up, give each kid the opportunity to get with the ones, make sure the reps were solid so we can get an honest evaluation at all positions, and it flowed very well today. So I'm pleased. I need 14 more of those.
When you say you're going to release a depth chart every Friday, is that internally? Is it externally? How will that be communicated to the players?
Tim will let you know on Fridays.
But how will you communicate it to the players?
They'll know on Friday too. Yeah. No, every day. As we've said, it used to be competition Tuesday around here, right? And competition is what it's going to be all about. It's not about if you're an old guy, if you're a young guy. It's going to be about who's competing and playing the best. And those are the guys that are going to walk out. You have to fight for your job each and every week and be able to know that in competition is real life. That's what life's all about.
Have you done that before or seen it done that way before? We're releasing a weekly depth chart at this point in the year?
Yeah, we've released a weekly depth chart. It just happens to be just a little bit earlier in the week. We do that and make changes each week. I just want the kids to feel like, hey, practice matters and competition matters.
Coach, as a leader, is there a plan in play to create or accelerate coaching chemistry within the ranks? Golfing outings, or breakfasts or lunches, or what are you doing?
Well, for us, it was about as soon as we got back off the road, there was a sense of urgency for us to be involved. We were involved in every strength and conditioning workout. We were involved in every morning workout. We're allowed to be in that time period. We were able, we're allowed to meet for 2 hours a week with our kids, and so we jump started this process as soon as we got off the road and got back in, and used every second that we are allowed by NCAA rule. And I thought that provided us a lot of chemistry. It wasn't just, okay, hey, let's start this week's spring ball. This has been going on since the day after signing day, And so there are coaches that have been here with us, and there are new coaches come in, and I applaud our coordinators because they've built a chemistry. We had, we always we enjoy each other. We laugh together, and we work really hard together. And chemistry is important, and I applaud the coordinators for the job they've done thus far.
What can you say about the situations with Bayless and Greg Johnson and your conversations with them through that?
Yeah, I think that each guy is personal, and I'll leave it personal. Right now, they are in the portal, and if something changes, I'll let you know.
How will being shorthanded in the defensive backfield impact 11-on-11 for you?
Well, today we got to take our time. You saw us stop just for a little bit. We want to be able to acquire the reps until we get healthy. Days like this help. You have to have so many helmet days. You have to have 2 helmet days before you even get to a full pad day. The hard days will be the full pad days, and we'll have to really monitor both reps. We want the physicality of it, but we are shorthanded back there. Today's are good days because Talanoa can go, Isaiah Pulamau can go. Those guys can get reps, and that helps us. The full pad days are where we're going to have to be very selective, maybe even stop practice for a second, let them catch their breath, and then go right back in.
With Elijah and Talanoa and Pulamau, are you hoping that they could go later at full contact later?
I don't think that's going to happen this time around with where they're at. We're very happy with their progress. They're all on pace. I don't see Elijah getting any spring ball. He's going to be able to get some walkthroughs, the meetings and things like that, the non-contact opportunities. Talanoa and Isaiah will be able to get, but at the end of the day, we're never going to put a player in harm. All righty, guys. Thank you all so much.